Welcome to the Leisure House podcast. I'm here with Marcus Johnson. How are you doing today, Marcus?
I'm doing fantastic. It's a beautiful day.
Beautiful day, beautiful day. So me and Marcus just catching up from a long time. We haven't hung out in a while. On a road trip to Kentucky, play baseball. Marcus is out here living in Oklahoma City. So tell us a little bit about Oklahoma City, your experiences here, and what you're doing.
Oh my gosh, Oklahoma City, man. Dude, when I first moved out here coming from Southern California, I had no expectations. I was like, it's going to be in the middle of nowhere. Oklahoma, it's just going to be a bunch of cowboys and desert. But man, it's beautiful. I live downtown. I'm blessed. I just finished my last season of college baseball at Oklahoma Christian, and now taking on some business endeavors, and couldn't be more thankful for the opportunities I've been given.
Awesome, I love it. So tell us a little bit about Oklahoma Christian. How was your experience there? And, knowing that it was going to be maybe your last season, how did you go about your business and kind of set you up for what you're doing now?
Oklahoma Christian was a very fun time. It was the first time ever in my whole entire baseball career where, I just felt like I could just be me.
Yeah.
The coaches were very relaxed, and they embraced, just being yourself and being that dog, on the field and off the field and in the classroom. I really had no expectations, and it blew off. My expectations were absolutely blown up. It was just a wonderful time. Knowing it was going to be my last year, I was, going for gold. I was trying to, get drafted or get signed, and unfortunately it didn't happen. But fortunately God had another plan, and I'm happy to pursue that. But how I went about my business, I never want to live my life in regret.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. I don't want to look back and, have the would've, could've, should've's.
Yeah.
So I treated every single day like it's my last. I appreciated the opportunity, and I took every day with a sense of gratitude.
Yeah, absolutely. I had the pleasure to play with Marcus at Santa Ana College. Literally probably the hardest worker I know. And you grinded, man. Every day we were out there, you're hitting early, you're hitting late. You earned what you got here, and you got a great setup here. It's beautiful. Unfortunately, baseball can only take you so far, and everyone's got their own journey. But what you're setting up now is pretty sick. You're setting yourself up for a bright future, and the hard work that you put in baseball, I can see that you're doing in your website and all that stuff you're doing. It's gonna take you pretty far. So that's awesome.
Absolutely, Nick. Dude, I've had the pleasure of playing with you for, that year at Santa Ana College, and dude, my dad still talks about you.
Really?
He said, "Oh, you're gonna hang out with Nick Lopez today, man. I love watching him hit."
That's awesome.
Man, I think you inspire everyone that you meet. You have that energy, that aura, that it's just positive. You just motivate people, especially with your story, your background, how you got to where you are. And man, believe it or not, I've taken a lot of notes from your playbook, a lot of pages out of your playbook. Dude, even my stance this year. I talked about being myself.
Yeah.
I was, but at the same time, dude, I saw your stance, and I was like, dude, I need to see what he's doing, because clearly he's doing something right. And I added a little Marcus Johnson twist to it, but man, dude, you just keep doing your thing, man. You're killing it.
I appreciate that. Thank you. So what's it like being from California going to Tesoro, right?
Tustin, or Trabuco, and Tustin.
Trabuco, then Tustin. Living out in California for 18 plus years of your life, and now living on your own out here in Oklahoma City. How's that been as a change?
You know what, man? So it's the first time now that I'm not playing baseball that I had to make friends. Playing baseball, being on a team, you get 30 plus guys. 30 plus guys on your team. Guess what? That's 30 plus friends that are just handed to you.
Yeah.
And so, moving downtown Oklahoma City by myself, I really had to go out and make friends. And at first I was scared and nervous, and then I realized, listen, if I don't, go up to people and introduce myself and break bread with people and give them handshakes, I'm gonna be lonely.
Yeah.
And it has been the best experience of my life. You know, I've met so many people that have so many, you know, great outlooks on life, have great careers. A lot of older people are my friends now. You know, older 20s.
Yeah.
You know, younger 30 or early 30s, and they've just influenced me. And they just keep motivating me and inspiring me to, you know, be the man I'm destined to be.
Hell yeah, I love it. I know that this is my first time here in Oklahoma, and being in the city and living in LA for the past 2 years, I'm not honestly blown away about how beautiful this city is and how much like people are so nice here. Like everyone's so like homey, like they just like, you know, bring you in. Like, you know, I just like you see someone on the side of the street and they're like, hey, like just that's how it is here. So, you know, you got your own place here, you're living out here by yourself, and it's, you know, obviously a way different experience in California. And, I mean, you were from Santa Margarita area, and, you know, I lived in LA for a little bit, and so coming out here, it's just like a different vibe, and like, just like, it's nothing what I expected at all. Like, I came in and I was like, all right, like, you know, you showed me your place, I was like, hey, he's got a nice place. But I didn't think everything else around it was going to be nice, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's you got a pretty made over here, so
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, dude, it has been an absolute blessing, truly. You know, if I, you know, was 18 and I look back, you know, if I was 18 again, I, you know, ask myself, you know, where would I be? What would I be doing at 23 years old? I could have never imagined being in Oklahoma and owning a few businesses.
Yeah.
And, you know, having the, you know, season I had last year. It's been a true blessing, you know. I think it's all of a testament to, number one, my faith, two, just my work ethic, and then number three, being fearless and taking on opportunities and walking in the unknown and trusting that you're on the right path.
Yeah. You talked about your work ethic. How do you think that, you know, not getting offers out of high school and going junior college route, how do you think that has taken you? Like, what would you tell somebody that, you know, is going to take that route? Like, what was the biggest separator for you? What separated you from other guys?
You know what? At first it was my work ethic, but work ethic can only take you so far in baseball and in life. You have to have a mind. A mind of a warrior, a mind of, you know, a dog that we call it on the field, dude. So, you know, I would work really hard when I was younger, and I'd see the results, but it just like it wasn't really working. You know, the work wasn't working. And then I went to Santa Ana College, and you know, just had a bunch of great mentors my first year before you got there, that were older than me and taught me, you know, how to be a dog.
Yeah.
And I think the mentality, once I switched my mentality, you know, to be aggressive towards my goals and fight and claw to get to my goals. You know, it's not just about working hard, but it's about like being, you know, working smart and, you know, just having that dog mentality in life. And then all of a sudden you kind of see, you know, yourself kind of shoot up. And then it's a gradual like increase, you know. First, you know, you get the starting job, and then you become, you know, one of the top guys on the team, and then I've just kind of taken that into my business as well.
Yeah, awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, the junior college route is, you know, nowadays a lot of people see junior college and they're like, like I'm not good if I go to junior college, or, you know, like that's like you go to junior college if you can't get any offers, right? And, you know, I honestly thought of that as well. When I first got out of high school, I didn't have the D1 offers, and the only schools that were talking to me were junior colleges, Saddleback and Fullerton. And my older brother had gone to Cypress Christian, and he had a bad experience there. And he started off as a catcher, and they turned him into a PO, and you know they were recruiting me as well. And he told me that they're just feeding you a bunch of lies. Like they have their bounce backs that come and, you know, take the spots. So, you know, my thoughts on junior college were like,
That's on?
Okay. My thoughts on junior college was like, all right, like, I don't want to go there. You know, that's where like guys that, you know, aren't good enough to play D1 go. Then COVID happened, and you know, I was at UIC, loved it there, but I just like had a feeling I could, I want to be somewhere better. Not in the sense of like for my development and where I wanted to go. I just didn't feel like UIC gave me those opportunities to get where I wanted to go. So then, I was like, man, like I'm gonna check out this junior college route, man. And I took a gamble, and I honestly I had no schools were like talking. I had no idea what was gonna happen. Went to Santa Ana, and a bunch of my buddies bounced back, and it was like a cool thing to see. Like I knew all these guys and playing baseball together, and had a great coaching staff, and I played really well, and I had really good coaches help me reach out to schools, and my dreams and aspirations, my ambitions opened up, and I started thinking of schools like USC, UCLA, all those schools. I was thinking more about my future besides baseball. How can I be successful without baseball? Well, getting a USC degree can set you up to do that. So I was trying to go hand in hand with that. But yeah, I think, the way I looked at junior college is, if I was telling somebody that's 18 and that was kind of in the same boat, it's definitely not a bad option. Definitely not. It's cheaper. And, you have a chance to be that dog that you're talking about, and you get to, mold that personality, that persona, and you get to learn from older guys that maybe have been there, or maybe you have even bounced back from other schools. And, after I left, I felt like I left a good mark, and I, try to, mentor all the younger guys as much as possible. And I don't know, I don't regret going there at all. And I think it was a great decision. But that's, I'm glad I got to meet you there. That was probably one of the best things that came out of that, have that relationship with you, and you have this, this dog work ethic, you're grinding, you're sending me like videos of you running at night. I'm just like, what the heck is this guy doing? Like, you just are like different. And that's what I see you take out of your playbook. So how can I be different? Not just different, like consistently different. Like you're consistently different, and you separate yourself that way. And your work ethic is unbelievable. And, I try to use that for myself. And so yeah.
Nick, dude, I really, really appreciate you saying that, man. It's always good to hear that. It's always, good to, not only see the benefits of your hard work, but be shown appreciation towards your hard work and the journey. Like I said, Nick, you've always like really inspired me. You mentioned something about being consistently different. It's different. Being a good person is different.
Yeah.
Working hard is different. Nowadays there's so much clutter and filth in the world that if you're a good person, you're weird. If you work hard, you're weird. If you don't, go out every single weekend and get, hammered, you're weird.
Yeah.
And I think it's good to embrace the weirdness.
Yeah.
What I think is weird is being average. I think that's weird.
There you go.
I think laying around's weird.
Yeah.
Getting hammered every weekend and wasting all your money. That's weird to me.
Yeah.
I think normal should be, working hard, being a good person, honoring your parents, honoring your girlfriend.
Yeah. I think it's how you perceive things as well. Like the way that we perceive things is different than maybe the average person would perceive things, or somebody that's playing soccer or whatever. But it's just about how you perceive things, and the way we've grown up and the way our parents have raised us, the people we surrounded ourselves helped us perceive that being weird is great. There's a good thing about being weird and different. Because that's what separates you, man. You look at two players, and they're like the same player. Well, maybe this player is like does a little like weird stuff that like separates him just gaining an advantage. Like, how are you gonna separate yourself from the same player? If you were looking at yourself, how can you separate yourself from that person? That's kind of how I look at my business going up, like baseball. How can I separate myself from maybe the guy that's running a 6'1", 60, or has a cannon of an arm? How can I separate myself? And I look at just playing hard every single game. I'm going out there, and I'm gonna give my best effort. And even if you do those things, you're not gonna get the results that you want. But if you consistently do what you believe in, I truly believe that's gonna get you where you want to get. So being consistently weird and being weird in general is based off of what people perceive, and I feel like we perceive the weirdness pretty well. So
Yeah,
I agree with you on
absolutely.
that.
Absolutely, dude. It's so funny. Like, dude, I look at you, you're like a normal guy. I'm a normal guy. But then, like, we see, like, just people wasting their lives, and you're like, dude, that's kind of weird. Why would you do that? You only live once, you know?
Yeah. And then they see us like, doing hitting lessons for like hours. That's weird. Like, why is he doing that? Well, we're trying to build something maybe bigger than our baseball careers, We're trying to impact the community. And, the first glance of what you look at isn't always the whole picture. So it might come off as weird, but, the big plans, that's kind of hidden under. So that way, once you build it, it can show and really show who you are at the end of the day. My goal is to leave a legacy, and I think, if I can't leave it in baseball, I want to impact the community, impact my little brother and his friends, and have an impact on the baseball, community in other ways if I'm not in the big leagues, a Hall of Famer. So obviously I'm striving to do that. It's still my goal, but this is a way that I can kind of start building off what I'm doing right now and have it for the future.
Yeah, dude, absolutely, man. I love that. I love what you started with the Leisure House. The Leisure House podcast. You got apparel on the way. You got lessons. You got training. Because you're about the community, man. And the problem with a lot of people is that they work for the money. They want the money, so they'll put the money over everything. You put the money on a pedestal, you're never going to find it.
Yeah.
But because you care about actually impacting someone and changing someone's life and leaving a legacy, money is just a byproduct of that.
Yeah.
It's just going to come to you.
Yeah.
And if working hard and being disciplined is weird, and being successful is weird, I'll take. Yeah, I love it, man.
love it.
I'll take the weird road every single day without question.
Oh yeah. Got a little some strong coffee for you. Are you excited to try that out? Absolutely. So I like drinking strong coffee, just because I like a little bit of like an energy, to get through my day. I like to feel like I can get through my days seamlessly, but I don't like too much caffeine. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like Bangs or like Monsters, like Reign. It's like 300 milligrams of caffeine. It's just like, oh my goodness. Like you're in another dimension when you like drink that. And strong coffee is kind of like a nice little balance. It's got a bunch of like good stuff, and it's got collagen, adaptogens, which are all really good for you. And I'm trying to like take my health a lot more serious than I have in the past. And my mentor that I had, his name's Caleb Fossum. Shout out Caleb. He would mentor me, and he would do these mentoring sessions with me and my brother, and we would talk about just life, baseball, and he gives me a lot of tips. And a lot of stuff that I've learned from him, I implemented in what I'm trying to do for the younger community, baseball community. But he works for Strong Coffee now, and he's like one of the big people there. So he sent me, a care package and everything, and tried it out. It's so good. Like I love it, and it's instant. Like you're on the road, let's say like, oh my goodness, I got to be at work in 10 minutes. You can do cold water, hot water, just pour it in, ready to go, and it's like that. And so it's nice to have something that's quick, easy, and healthy, and like you feel energetic. You can feel like right when I take a sip, like I just have a bolt of electricity. It's nice. So I'm excited for you to try it out. Hopefully you can give us a little test review. So you got any questions for me?
Nick, you've lived a crazy life. We talked earlier about the stories, just everything on and off the field. It's been a movie for you. And me and the boys always said at SAC, damn, Nick, everything that man touches turns to gold. Everything that man touches turns to gold. That's Trojan gold. USC, fight on, Tell us, how do you do it? What's the method to your madness?
All right, the method to my madness. It's a simple spell. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I've grown up. I was fortunate enough to have played at J. Sarah. And before J. Sarah, I was at Century High School, and I was around a lot of kids, a lot of young adults that didn't really have the opportunity to go to college or have food at their table at night, like very just like underprivileged kids. And so I kind of like went to high school, like that's kind of like how, you know, that my life might be. Like, you know, I looked at it and I wanted to be like, give my kids the opportunity to do what they want to do. But it starts with me and what I want to do. And so being around all those people and like, you know, knowing that they want it, but they just like literally just can't get it. And I got the opportunity to go play at J. Sarah, and that's what changed my life. And at first I was really scared. I didn't want to transfer schools. I met some of my best friends at Century, and also my brother went to Century. My mom teaches at Century, so I was really comfortable. And being comfortable sometimes isn't the greatest thing. And so what I got the opportunity and I was like unsure, and I played with a guy named Dominic Molfetta, shout out Dominic, and Michael Molfetta. So they pretty much really got me the opportunity to go there. And so making that decision, it was really tough because I loved people at Century. Everybody was humble. Everybody worked for what they got. I mean, most of my friends had jobs after school was over. And just being surrounded by that kind of community and having that edge of like, you know, I'm going to work hard for what I get, kind of like gave me that kind of like mentality. And so when I went to J. Sarah, it was a culture shock. I mean, I saw R8s in the lots at school. Everybody just had nice cars. Everybody got what they wanted. Everybody's dream was to go to USC, Harvard, UCLA. And it's like, oh my goodness, like how am I going to get there? Like, I'm just a kid from Century. You know, I came from a very humble background. My parents work hard, and they, you know, everything I get is because I earned it. So I don't just get things handed me out. And these kids are getting these free, you know, nice cars, getting a good education. And so being around that also gave me like thinking like, how do I get this kind of lifestyle? You know, like as much as like, you know, the kids are spoiled and they get what they want, I want to be able to spoil my kids. I want to be able to spoil myself, you know, especially if I work hard for it. So how do I get myself to do that? And so that's when I started to have to be different. And I think what we talked about earlier about being consistently different, I had to be different from everybody. I played with Royce Lewis, who was the #1 overall pick. I mean, he was one of the best players I've ever seen in my life. And I was 17, he was 18. And like, I looked at him and you know, that's a future MLB guy right there. Future All-Star, future Hall of Famer, in my eyes. And so like being like, how do I get to that? How do I get to what he's doing? And I knew I never would be as fast as him. I knew I'd probably never have as strong as arm as him. I never could probably hit as hard as him. At this time, I mean, my hits were called a Lopey special because I would literally like be so out in front and cap the ball just right, and it would land in the perfect spot. Like those were my hits. Like I wasn't crushing balls off the wall, over the fence, you know. And so that's how I kind of made a name for myself in that way. Like I just like found a way to get on base. So that kind of became my motto going on. I always find a way. And that's because I never give up. When I commit to something, I never give up on what I want to do until I get it. And so I've used that motto when it comes to colleges, what my dreams and goals are. As soon as I commit to something, I'm not giving it up. Like that's what I want. That's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna get it somewhere, some other way, you know, whatever it takes, pretty much. And so, you know, when I went to SAC and I didn't really have any offers, I was like, all right, what kind of goal can I set myself? Because like I'm the kind of person that needs like a goal, something to go towards to really commit to what I want to do. And so I was like, I want to go to USC. How am I going to get to USC? Well, you know, I need good grades. And at this point, I had solid grades. A lot of things fell into place for me to have those good grades, thank God. But I needed good grades, right? I needed to solidify myself as what kind of player was I going to be. I wasn't the biggest kid. I wasn't the fastest kid. And I probably never will be in that sense. So how am I gonna? You come to a game, and how are you gonna see Nick Lopez be like, yeah, that guy's going to USC? Every day I work my butt off. I hit in the cages extra. I go hit extra. I'm doing the extra things that no one else is doing, and I know that sounds cliche, but like when you really commit to those things, you will see a difference, and that's really what's kept me going to this point. Like, just not giving up on my dreams. Like, no one could tell me no, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get it done. My dream was playing the SEC or pro ball, and pro ball didn't work out this year, but I'm going to the SEC now, and now my goal is to develop, get the best coaching I can get, be part of a program that has a chance to go to Omaha, and then set myself up for pro ball. But the huge takeaway, the motto is, don't let somebody tell you no. Because if I lived by that, I would probably have not even gone to Santa Ana. I probably would have given up after COVID. People have told me no so many times, but I want to get where I want to go, because that's like who I am. So yeah, that's kind of how things like fall into place. If you're a good person and you truly believe that what you're doing is right, good things will happen. And I believe that. I was raised by my mom to go to church all the time, pray, and I live by being a good person every single day, and good things happen to good people. So yeah, that's kind of how those things came into place.
Nick, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, he talked about pro ball. He talked about the SEC, the Southeastern Conference. If you don't know college sports, college baseball, college football, the SEC is damn near pro ball, if not better. So he surely accomplished that goal.
Shit. Thank you, Marcus. I appreciate that. There's a lot more work to do. I'm the kind of person that, I'm happy where I am right now, but I want more. I truly believe that I have, a purpose, and it's bigger than baseball. It's bigger than me. And I really want to accomplish that by impacting the community that helped me get to where I am today. And that's, the Orange County, the Tustin, the Santa Ana community. A lot of kids in that area are really good. And a lot of kids don't get the opportunity, don't get the training, don't get the coaching, don't get the mentoring that they need. Maybe they can get all the nice gear, they can get all the nice gloves, they can get whatever they want from their parents. But it truly comes down to who you surround yourself with and who is truly impacting your career. And that's real. I've been fortunate enough to surround myself with people that have pushed me to get where I want to be, that have gave me good tips and advice to get to where I am today. And I have a big thanks to my older brother, who, he was the kind of like my right-hand man. And, I didn't really think of it. I always was like, Christians, whatever. But he's always pushed me, man. And as much as I hate to say it, like, he's got that dog in him too. Like, he's still playing independent ball. He hasn't given up on his dreams. And seeing that from my older brother helps me keep pushing forward on what I'm trying to do. Because that guy, let me tell you, he's got a great story. And I'm going to get him on here on this podcast to kind of talk about his story. But he could have given up a long time, even before high school, man. Like, the fact that he's still playing right now, he's had surgery, he's had blood clots, like, he's been through the ringer, and he's still playing. And I'm really proud of him for that. And it honestly helps me keep doing what I want to do and moves me forward. So, yeah.
All right, I'm going to sound like Alex Rodriguez right now on Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. This is what he says all the time. If I'm a young kid watching at home, in a few sentences, how can I get in those doors and get into the groups of the impactful people? How do I get in the doors, and how do I get my foot in the door of the successful groups? And how do I get there? How do I make friends with those people?
Well, you got to invest in yourself, and you got to figure out what kind of things can I invest in myself that's going to help me for my future. And once you start like looking at those type of things, you get into like when you're in practice, go to new teams, you hang out with friends, and you start figuring out like what you want to do. When you hang out with people, you start to realize who are the people that want to better themselves, or who are the people that kind of just living life to just do whatever, and they don't really have a goal or ambitions or whatever. They're just kind of living life, which is all good. But like when you want to better yourself, when you want to really put your foot in the door, you got to put yourself in the environment of successful people. And that's what I'm trying to do with Leisure House. Having Leisure House and having a facility and having the people there, most importantly. Leisure House is a community. Like, don't get that wrong. Like, the facility is just like the show, and you get to use it. But I truly believe surrounding yourself with successful people will really impact your career and what you want to do. And so Leisure House is going to be, a place where you go and you're surrounded by people like-minded like you. Guys that want to go to the next level. Guys that want to invest in their mental skills training, that want to invest in their nutrition, their weightlifting, their hitting, their fielding. There's a whole thing that you got to do to get where you want to go. You can't just be like, all right, well, I'm going to go hit today and that's it. I mean, if you listen to a lot of big leaguers talk, it's mental. 162 games, it's mental. And I was listening to Mookie Betts' podcast, and he was talking to, I want to say Zach Gallen, I think it was Christian Yelich. And he was talking about how the game is mental. It's like 90% mental, or something like around those lines. But anyways, it's because of the 162 game. How can I be who I am, a great hitter, great fielder, great athlete for 162 games? And when you kind of look at it, you're just like, well, it doesn't seem that hard. But like once you start playing college baseball, it's 57 game season, and you have days off, like multiple days off. These guys in the MLB very rarely have days off. So you got to start investing in your health, your mental skill training, even your mental health, weightlifting. How can you get that edge? If you're a great athlete, how can you get better? Well, you can get mental skill training, better yourself in that way. You can invest in your nutrition. Like, you can never invest too much in your nutrition, your weightlifting, your mobility. All of that comes into play. And once you can find a consistent routine that you can do on the daily, that's when you become a great player. And the greatest players that have been successful, you look at Tom Brady, he's just done it for so long. And how does he do it for so long? Well, he invests in himself. He invests in his body. He talks about pliability and all that stuff. And looking at that, it's like, I've read his book, TB12 Method, and I want to play till I'm 45. Like, I mean, if I don't get into the big leagues till I'm 28 and I play until I'm 45, man, like, awesome. I'd love that. If I don't get till I'm 30 and I play till I'm 45, that's 15 years in the big leagues. And, if I don't play till I'm 45, at least that I invested in myself for my future down the line when I'm older. My kids are getting older and I want to train them. I want to be healthy. I don't want to be, not in shape, can't move, can't toss a ball with my kids, That's kind of what I look at. It took me a while to get to this point of life, but I'm kind of glad that I can see that now. And yeah, that's kind of, going off that, it's like you got to invest in yourself to get that foot in the door and find those like-minded people.
I'll make sure the camera's still rolling, all right?
Okay. We good?
Yeah, we're 18 minutes in.
No way. Oh my God. You got any other questions for us, Marcus?
Nick, welcome to Oklahoma City. I'm blessed to have you here on the Leisure Podcast. I know it's his podcast. I don't know why I have the mic, but I'm just saying, you follow this guy, you're going to be successful. He's going to kill it this year.
I appreciate that, Marcus. Thanks for letting me stay here. I'm really excited to have seen Oklahoma City, and good to see you again. It's been a long time, so I'm glad we got to catch up. Stay tuned for more podcasts. This is just the first of many. But yeah, welcome to Leisure House.
See ya.